Hello, I'm Rob Karp. I'm coming to you from Fawn Lane. I'd like to arrange flowers in this blue Roseville container. I woke up dreaming about liatris, and I happen to have some in the greenhouse that is just in its prime, and before it sheds, which it does annoyingly as it gets older, before it sheds, I want to arrange them in this container. So there are two approaches I could take. I could arrange the elements one by one in the vase, or I could arrange it in my hand. I'm going to arrange it in my hand and then pop it in the container. I think that might be the most economical way to do it. I also have this as an accent filler. This is out now. It's dock. It actually has a very deep taproot. It grows wild in waste places and in fields, and traditionally farmers have really hated it, but it's very interesting in summer arrangements. And if you pull off these leaves, it will expose the pods and not hide them. So I'm pulling off most of these. I might use two pieces. There's the other piece. So I'm going to start with assembling the bouquet in my hand. I've already cleaned off most of the lower foliage that's going into the water. You don't want to have any of the foliage submerged in the water because it will breed bacteria and the flowers will die prematurely. So I have sloughed off all of the foliage that's going below the water level, and I'm going to assemble it in my hand. I'll add some of this dock filler. I'm going to assemble it in my hand from basically adding the elements high left to low right in a spiral-like direction. And the trick with a hand-tied bouquet is learning or doing it enough so that your hand relaxes. Liatris is the birth flower for July. So I'm assembling the arrangement, as I said, from high left to low right. And all of the stems are going in the same direction. And if I want to turn the bouquet, I can. By grabbing it with my right hand and turning it maybe a half turn, I'll add some more foliage. Now I can continue on with the back of the bouquet. This is a liatris going to seed, so I'll keep that in there. It's an interesting texture. More dock. The dock has a nice function of making the flowers spread apart as a filler. So we get a great visual value from the flowers. There's another seeded pod. I'm going to turn it a little bit more. And I've got to start coming down, so I'm going to use some shorter stems. Turn it a little. Finish off the back. Now with this Roseville container, it has a design. It looks like bittersweet, and it's a nice complementary color to this very dark blue of the lavender. And it even has highlights of this bright spring red that you see in the dock. I've just about finished adding all the liatris. I started to say I wouldn't normally put flowers in a vase that has a design, but the color just jumped out at me, and I thought it was an opportune time that the liatris was in bloom. So I'm going to cut these stems here. Now I still have some foliage to slough off because, as I said earlier, we don't want anything below the water level. So I can still grab it and pull out some of the foliage. But for the sake of time, I'll do this later. And we'll just pop it in to this vase. Loosen it up a little bit. And there we are.